Namaste. I bow to the divine presence in you in today's Michelleology. I am Michelle and I am your motivator. On this terrific Take It to the Top Tuesday, we are grateful to just be alive and well in this present state of the universe. We're just coming to send you some energy, some frequencies, some vibrations to enhance your being, to help you expand to your greatest version of yourself and move to a different dimension, a fifth dimension, where we're making the foundation and declaring the new administration of unconditional love and freedom. And so we're going to continue in our part 7 of evolving from that slavery mentality. Again, a lot of us don't think that we have that mentality, but if you are relying on someone to tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, you're under a slavery mentality. I am not talking about authority. I'm talking about a slavery mentality. Anytime that it is not beneficial, or it's not pointing you to your highest version of yourself, or if it's not allowing you to have your own authenticity, it is a form of slavery. And so today we're going to kind of talk about, excuse me, today we're going to kind of talk about like 3 things that I want to bring to your attention that will help you as tools to be able to transform. Remember, trans meaning across, through, and beyond this present state of slavery that we're in as we come in under this new administration. Not talking about Trump and Biden. I'm talking about the foundation of unconditional love, the foundation of freedom, the very thing that God intended or purpose or destined for us to have in this journey is our birthrights, our inheritance, and our nationality. So as we're coming under this administration, you're going to have to know some tools that's going to guide you from that, because we're used to being under the illusion of normal, which was never normal in the first place. We were just conditioned that it was. And so as we begin to make this movement, this transition, this transforming from slavery to a land of promise, a land of milk and honey, you have got to change your mind. It's not good enough for your body to come out of slavery, but your mind is still left there, because your mind is your motivating factor, your computer, your generator, your operator, your divineness of how you're going to get there. Generator, operator, divine, God. It is your God. Yes, we serve God with our mind. And so we've got to get it in line. We've got to get ourselves in line. We've got to get back in balance. We've got to get back in our state of being. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, in order to change your me, your mental equation, it's my new book that's going to be coming out, Mental Equation. We must first begin by being mindful. So let me define for you what mindful is. Mindful is a mental state of being conscious or aware of your present moment. Now, let me tell you why we don't operate in mindfulness is because we have 60,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And they say that most of those thoughts are thoughts that we had the day before. So our thinking doesn't change unless we change it. We have placed those thoughts in the automatic, so we go to sleep with them, so we wake up with them. We're sleeping with the enemy. So your yesterday's thoughts are illusions because they're not, they're in your past. But when you bring your past into your present, it becomes your future. Oh my God. When you bring your past into your present, it becomes your future. And so what we want to do is we want to interrupt that chain of thinking. So mindfulness means we are in a mental state of being conscious or aware of a present moment. So we want to stay in the present. The mindfulness brings you to the what, and that's all it's going to give you. What are we about to do? What are we about to create? So when it brings you to the what, the next step that you're going to have to go to is to focus. Now, focus is the state of seeing a clear vision. Usually, when you're mindful, the vision has not been finished or it's not clear. It is in its infant stages. And so we have to move to the next step. So when we move to the step of focus is meaning to do, to be, and to have. So you begin to see a clearer picture in your imagination as to what your creation is moving to. And so as we do that, we are coming from a place of knowing to do, to do what you know, to be what you know, and to have what you know. Now, we fail for the lack of knowledge. And so this can be a place of increase. This can be a place of expansion. This can be a place of going forward. Okay, and then the next step is we have to pay attention. This means to closely concentrate on your vision and your focal point. You must experience the feeling. So that's what I want to get to. If we're going to be in the power of attraction, we're going to have to establish what's the process for that. Now, our thinking, we've always done head thinking, but now we have to move first to heart thinking. Your heart was created first in your body as you, in your mother's womb, as you begin to form. So your heart has a brain. So once you align your heart thinking, which is connected to God thinking, you can line that up with your head thinking. So once you line it up with your head thinking is when we start to be mindful. This is when we start to focus and when we start to pay attention. Now, because I don't know how old you are, but we used to learn, our teachers used to tell us, I want you to learn this by heart. Okay, so that means they want you to store it in your heart, write it in your heart, so that when it's time for you to be tested on it, that you'll already have it written here. You won't have to look for a book or notes. It will already be instilled in your heart. And so now we have this artificial intelligence called the smartphone and the computer, where we're relying on those things and we're not using our brain cells. So brain cells are dying and they're not being restored or recreated or being made new. And it's causing our memories and our mental stability to disintegrate, which could probably mean, and I'm not a doctor, this is for entertainment purposes only, which would probably mean why there's so much dementia and Alzheimer's that's occurring, because we stopped using our brain. So the brain cells are dying out. And so what we have to do is go back to our heart and then to our head. And so as we line that all up, we become mindful, we focus, we pay attention. We begin to expand our consciousness. We begin to repent, return back to our original state before we were in the womb or the matrix. And so that allows us to transform, cross through and beyond, out of this slavery mentality into our ownership. We begin to own our authenticity. We begin to own our highest version of ourselves. We stop allowing people to put tags and titles on us, and we begin to think for ourselves. As a man thinketh, so is he. So we want to stop giving all the power to these artificial intelligence. It can be technology or it can be another person. Because anytime somebody thinks for you, that's artificial. It is not the supernatural power that God has given you. So when we're transforming, we have to be very mindful, we have to focus, and we have to pay attention. Multitasking is not as great as we think it is, because anytime that you multitask, you're taking the attention off of something. So something goes lacking. Something is not giving your full attention. Something is not giving the full power or the full knowledge that you have, because you're stretching. Stretching causes stressing. So as we begin to stretch so thin that we're about to pop, we go through depression or anxiety, because we're stretching ourselves too thin, which is causing stress to come. So every illness has a foundation of stress. It starts stressfully, then it goes from there to your body, because you're stressing your mind out. As you stress your mind out, you're stressing your body out. So as we begin to get out of this slavery mentality, as we begin to motivate to another place and another stage and another dimension in our lives, we must be mindful, focus, and pay attention. This is a great movement. This is where you pack your bags from stress, depression, anxiety, and you move forward and you begin to see greater. Your vision has been improved. Everything that was covered is uncovered. Every giant is coming down. The head is being taken off. So that's why we're moving into the new administration of unconditional love. It's not new, but it's becoming renewed so that we as a people can make this journey in a different state, in a different set, in a different mindset. So as we begin to take these tools and we operate, we put the work in, we cause ourselves to be motivated, we encourage ourselves, we are in a place of no condemnation of ourselves. And as we don't condemn ourselves, we can begin to see our worth. And once you know your worth, you never have to prove yourself. So we're in a place and a space where we're having to prove ourselves over and over. We don't have to, but we've chosen to. And that artificial intelligence has put up so much competition that we're competing. But your greatest competition is yourself. Well, that's your only competition. You know, if you want to expand and make yourself greater based on your greatness that you're already in, yes, because you have full authority over that. But when you're trying to make yourself better than someone else, you have no authority over that. That's not even yours. That's, as far as you are concerned, is illusional. You know, unless you're trying to help somebody or unless you're trying to be kind and love someone. But competition is illusional. So as we begin to evolve from this slavery mentality, we begin to evolve into our greatest version of ourselves. We begin to love, and I keep telling you, if we all come to the front line, we'll get blessed at the same time. So that removes any kind of competition. It removes the hate. It removes the fear. It removes the doubt. It removes selfishness and resentment. Man, can you imagine living in a world without those things? Yes, the peace and the rest that will come upon us. Well, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator. I hope that this information, for entertainment purposes only, will be something that's going to ignite a change in you, your mental equation, moving from your mental equation, evolving from your mental equation of slavery. As we move to that place in that space, we can begin to see our lives in a greater, different way, and we can begin to enjoy this journey. Everybody's talking about they want to go to heaven, but they're not enjoying the trip. So there is a form of heaven that's on this earth that we need to enjoy before we get to the next dimension, before we get to the next life. And so as we move forward march, we are going to a place and a space that we can ignite our greatest version of ourselves. Well, this is Michelle, and I'm your motivator. Please subscribe and like and share. As you begin to do that, you will know when the next video that I'm producing will come out. So remember, you've been created by the Creator to be creative. So start creating your creations and stop duplicating. Yes, on this terrific Tuesday, on this Take It to the Top Tuesday, on this Turn It Out Tuesday, let's move forward in our place, in our space of our greatest version of ourselves. Well, may the love, joy, peace, power, and sound-mindedness be your soul food for today. And remember, create your day. Don't let your day create you. Well, this is Michelle. I'm your motivator in today's Michelleology.